Nye, the psychoanalyst guy. During a Facebook Live event with Senator Bernie Sanders today, the mechanical engineer and TV personality said skeptics of global warming suffer from the psychological delusion of cognitive dissonance. It's a slight bump up from last year when he was open to the idea of imprisoning skeptics of global warming as war criminals. Now, Bill, it's great to see you. That doesn't sound like science to me, Bill Nye, the science guy. That sounds like something very different.
So cognitive dissonance is not a grapes.
Well, it's
you can't reach the grapes, so he says the grapes are no good.
Look, it's, people do come to every debate.
Don't get me wrong, I love you as a person, but for an explanation of why you guys are having so much trouble with it.
So then, before the name calling begins, and before you try to end the conversation, let's start it by asking.
It's the rate, Mr. Carlson. It's the rate that's such a concern.
The core question, from what I can tell, is why the change?
It's not an open question. It's a settled question. Human activity is causing climate change.
To what degree? No, but let's start. And I'm asking
in the
a very
science
precise
community,
question.
it's a settled point.
Okay, then if you
so that's your. So the word degree is a word.
Wait, but hopefully it's more precise.
If that's the number you want, humans are causing it to happen catastrophically fast.
Okay, so at what rate would it have changed without human activity? And you look at me that I'm asking these questions, but they're very basic questions. They're
okay,
not denial.
So basically, the cycles of climate change, the last ice age we had was tens of thousands of years ago. So bear in mind that an ancient dinosaur lived on the seacoast
you're changing, but you're not answering my question. You're describing what will happen if this continues. And I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you a simple question about the rate of climate change.
So the rate,
you said
the word accelerated is an understatement. Okay, it's happening extraordinarily
I'm asking you a simple
fast.
question, and because the scientists,
it's not clear that it would have happened. In other words, humans have changed the climate.
And we know that. When would it have happened?
When would the next ice age have happened?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Without human activity, what would the process look? Here's the point that I hope our viewers can understand. I'm not in any way denying that the climate is changing. I'm utterly open to shout it off the stage.
No, that was your word. That's you guys. That's not my claim. And I really.
Would you like me to read your quote? That people who disagree with you ought to potentially go to jail? You said that.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, isn't skepticism baked into science?
We can talk about that shortly, but.
Is it appropriate to jail the guys from Enron? Was there a question?
Okay, I got to disagree with you. I claim I do have the answer.
Okay.
Why aren't you concerned?
I am concerned. That's why I'm having you on. If you look, you don't.
Okay,
if you prevent people from having an honest conversation, you're doing a grave disservice.
You asked how long it would be.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right.
So
at what point would it have changed? And I'm just saying, you don't actually know because it's unknowable.
So
why aren't you open to questions? So much of this you don't know. You pretend that you know, but you don't know. And you believe people who ask you questions.
I really have to disagree with you. I spent a lot of time with this topic.
I'm open-minded. You are not. And we're out of time, unfortunately.
So
thank you for joining
you guys are the mainstream media. And I can tell you why they're leaks. Because the president has created two factions in his administration. They don't like each other, so they leak. It's not from the outside, it's from the inside. Carry on, Mr. Carlson. I'm sure we will cross paths again.
That's a very ominous thing to say. I don't know what it means, but come back.